Joe has just finished going through all of Hamza'S Nofap videos. He's watched every single one, all the way to the end. He really wants to figure out the secret. Come on, what is it, bro? Come on, he's watched everything. He's trying to implement as much as he can. Okay, I'll do this, and oh, maybe this is the secret, maybe this will be the one that works. And the weeks go by, and the months go by, and nothing really seems to work. But, he knows that, I should stick in it for the long term, that's where the real progress is made. And 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. Joe has made no progress. In fact, some months it's actually gotten worse, and he's been keeping track. Joe was never told why, so Joe continues making the same mistakes. Alexander. Alexander fixes his problems. When Alexander decided that he didn't want to fap anymore, he stuck in it for the long term. But he didn't just forget about it. He continually implemented it. He continually sought improvement and how he can actually stop. Like how we can actually stop without just deciding to quit and then just waiting for quitting to happen. Like, it's not. Instead, he went in it for the long term, continually learning about how to get better, how to improve. How can I stop? How can I quit? How can I stop rebounding all the time? And he kept trying to find these solutions. Some worked, some didn't. And he continually improved until one day he no longer did it. And he never has since. Okay. I really struggled. Like I would watch all of those videos where you sort of just hear the advice, like, don't go onto a streak. Oh, okay, bro. Oh, just don't. Oh, just it's just your identity, bro. Like, it's just. I would try the stuff out, right? I just, I do this normally. I try the stuff out. I try to see, like, okay, well, maybe it's just my identity. Okay, we'll try that. And it's like nothing would change. Like, I would still do it. Like, I would keep track of how many times I did it every single month. It went like that. Like, it was basically just a straight line. Sometimes it would be going up one month and then slightly down the other, and it's just, it never really got into any, like, good spot until 1 month where I decided to actually change something. I started to seek ways to improve. How could I stop doing this? I just got so frustrated at one point, and I found some things, and they worked. They actually worked. I read a book. It talked about it, so I tried some things, and they worked as well. And I kept trying these things, and slowly, I managed to find some things that actually helped me. And I actually believe that some of these YouTubers out there, like, it's never been that helpful, though, because, at least to me, this is just my own personal experience. Like, I've never really been helped that much. Like, yeah, sure, it might take 5 years, we'll just wait to stay in it for the long haul, like, but I did that for, it took months and months and months, and the only way I actually saw any progress was when I actually implemented some things. I found some things that, like, had some benefit, and I actually tested them out. That's the only way I ever made progress. Not by this sort of just, oh, I'm just gonna go in it for the long term and like. Obviously, you shouldn't be like the short term mindset either. Like you shouldn't be like, oh, how can I like stop 30 days from now? Like how can I go on to like the 400 day streak? Like obviously, you shouldn't be that either. But I think it's far better to figure out what works for you. Try and find methods that work. Trying to figure out how can I become better? How can I stop doing this instead of just sort of waiting? Like it's almost like you're waiting. Like I've watched tons of these sorts of videos and like I've never felt like anyone actually gives any like good advice. I would try all of it out. Like trust me, bro. I was huge on this. Like I was like so obsessed about it. Like how can I fix this, bro? I would try all these like sort of like tips out, and none of them worked. I don't think anyone actually knows like what this is, and even like how to like help yourself. I honestly don't think anyone actually knows. And it was just sort of annoying, bro. Like I genuinely I had to work it all out myself basically. Like I had to take like bits out of books and sort of like combine them together and sort of like even come up with my own ideas for how to actually stop doing this. Because the community online is just so garbage about this. Like half the info you get is literally just like false information that doesn't even work. And the other half is sort of modern age. It hasn't been expanded upon much and it just never worked for me. And that includes Hamza. You know, honestly, it just never worked. It never helped me that much. Like, yeah, sure, I avoided, you know, setting streaks and all these other sort of things he talks about, but I never woke up one day like, oh, yo, he really helped me with that, bro. Like, it was sort of just, yeah. Like, I would literally fap, like, every single other day. Every other day, I would literally just fap every single day. So, that doesn't make any sense. Every other day, I would fap every other day. So about one in every 2 days, sometimes more than that. And while watching these videos, like, just waiting, you know, for the long haul, because then it's going to stop. Like, yeah. Okay, so what did help? Honestly, what did help? It was the way of the superior man. It was realizing that I'm not fapping because I want a bit of like short-term pleasure. I'm not fapping because it's a habit that I've grown into for the last 8 years. It's not 8 years, well, no, like 5 years. 5 years. It's not because of any of these reasons, but really, it's because of a deep underlying reason that's sort of hidden almost by fapping. That fapping relieves. And the way of the superior man allowed me to figure that out, which is literally just tension. Ejaculation is the releation of tension. Releation is the releasement of tension. And when you're trying to be on Nofap, you don't stop fapping. You stop gathering tension. And that was like the actual secret that I actually figured out through reading the book. That actually, when I started to think about it like that, and I actually started to implement stuff like that, I saw the greatest like ROI, like the greatest benefit. Another thing I did is, this is something I figured out by myself. So I would literally just get my journal, and the night of whenever I fapped, so I find you want to do it at least a few hours after you fapped, because when you literally just fap and you do this, it's like you've got this sort of like almost self-hatred for yourself for doing it. So if you got that, don't do this, but wait a few hours, and then like say the night of your fapping, you get a journal out or a piece of paper, and you literally just write I fapped, and then just write how you fapped. So I don't know. It was the bathroom. I don't know. I was just, it was the morning. I do it every morning, and then just however it happened, and then you write like why you did it. I did it because I felt this, and I was feeling this, and this happened to me. And then you just write how you could stop doing this. And then if you just do that every single time you fap, like a few hours after every single time you fap, eventually you get a genuine idea of what situation you're in when you're about to fap, and how you fap in and why you fap, so you get a bit more sympathy for yourself. And then you could actually have something that you can actually implement, like an actual like practical tip that you can actually implement in your life, right? Like the next time it happens, right in that situation that is specific to your circumstance. And that really, really helped me. That was really big. Those two things, honestly, they were absolutely huge. First one especially. So when I discovered that, it's just ejaculation is just a release of tension. So if you want to be on Nofap, if you just have no tension in your body, you'll never want to fap again, because there's no reason to. Like it's like, the way I like to think of it now is, you have like an argument with your parents or something, or like, I don't know, like something goes wrong in your life, and then that night you fap. Do you ever get that? Like, do you just randomly like just fap that night of something bad happening? That's because that event built up your tension to the point where you had to fap to lower it. I really like that way of looking at it, because it makes it feel a bit more like realistic, So this author, the guy that wrote this book that made me come to this realization, says that the best way to release tension is through full and relaxed breathing, and just having like a full and open front at all times. So that means not watching like my YouTube videos like this, so being like, it's almost like you're staring at the floor, but no, but instead watching the YouTube videos, just being like full and open with your like back straight, and like just breathing properly, like not not breathing shallowly, like breathing so you can like actually like, so you can actually like feel your breath as you breathe. And then if you just do that, and you also do a breathing technique. I made a video. I sort of just I talk about this so much that I made this breathing technique video. So you can literally just scroll down on my videos and you find like, it's something like Way of the Superior Man breathing technique, like something like that. And you just click on that and you just follow along with the breathing technique, and it will literally, it's changing. It's so good, bro. Like what I do is I'll just do it on my walk every day, and it just relaxes you and it just gets rid of so much of the tension. Honestly, bro, you do that once a day, and your fapping will like half. You do that 2, 3, 4 times a day. Honestly, bro, like it's hard to fap at that point. Honestly, you get to that point. If you fap, it's either because of pleasure or it's because of like. And even if it's because of pleasure, here's the thing that I never understood about people who say that fapping is just pleasure. Then why do you choose to fap? If fapping is only pleasure, bro, if fapping is only like a release of dopamine in the brain, then how come you choose to fap and not to go on YouTube and watch Mr. Beast, and not to, I don't know, go on Netflix, or like why don't you choose to like do you get what I mean though? Like why do you choose that? Why don't you choose drugs or to smoke a cigarette? Like you don't, right? Right? Do you get what I mean? You choose specifically that, so there must be some other reason for you choosing that specifically that. Because if you wanted the same dopamine hit, you could get it through other means. But you actively choose that. So why? So it's like, that's where I see that, bro. Yeah, that's really helped me. So if you just do that breathing technique a few times a day, it's so good, bro. Like, oh, I think I've already done it a few times today. If you want even more, I have like a second channel. It's called like 7 or something. If you just go to go to like if you just click on like the sort of icon on my name, and then just go to my homepage, and then somewhere there should be a channel. It's called like Seven. Recently, I did like a full like 44-minute guide where I just went over like every single thing I've learnt so far about how to reduce this, how to stop fapping, and it's really really good. I genuinely gave like every little thing that's really helped me, and I genuinely think it's better than any other video on YouTube right now. So like obviously not in like general, but like about Nofap like right now. Like I've watched a lot of videos, and if I imagine my younger self, I would want him to click that video, honestly, over every single other one. Like every other one, you're just wasting your time, bro. Like maybe some of them, like Hamza'S ones are like okay, but they're not like you don't click on them and like, oh yeah, I just don't fap anymore. Blah. This is so great, you know. It's sort of just like, okay, I won't set a streak. Okay, I'll stick in it for the long term. Okay, like it's sort of just it's sort of like wishy-washy mindset. Like I don't care, bro. Like just give me something to do right now, bro. Like just I don't care. Like just show me something, mate. Like that's just what I always wanted. So I hope you have that now. I'm sort of rambling, I guess. Okay, I hope that helped. Okay, my name is Sam. Our name is Seven. Fix your brokenness for your purpose, 'cause I love you, bro.